Hi, I'm Cecilia Cowham. This is the wonderful world of amateur and professional boxing. This is the TBN Boxing Network, where we take you out of the ring, into the homes, the gymnasiums and the dressing rooms and show you what these elite athletes are all about.
Hi, I'm Angel.
And I'm Molly.
And I'm Cameron. And we're here from the Boxing Network tonight with Jeff the Horn and his trainer Glenn Rushton.
So can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, I do boxing and teaching.
Yeah, so whereabouts in boxing are you?
Whereabouts? I've currently just got the Australian professional title.
Yeah.
And I also went to the Olympic Games just before that.
Jeff made the quarterfinals at the Olympics. He's the most successful Australian boxer, Olympic boxer for 20 years, and prior to that he won 3 Australian titles as an amateur and 4 state titles, so he's very capable.
Yeah, full on.
It's a pretty high level to get to. Obviously it takes a lot of dedication. There had to be some kind of relationship going on there with you and Jeff, I'm assuming. It's not just a trainer-fighter, it's more of a father-son?
Yeah, Jeff obviously has been with me from day one, and yeah, I think the world of him naturally, and you know, we do need to have a very close relationship if you want to go all the way in boxing, because it's probably the toughest sport in the world, and obviously to succeed at the highest level in that sport, it takes a great team effort.
And why would you say it's the toughest sport in the world? I'm sure a lot of people would want to vouch for that spot.
One of the reasons it is it's physically demanding, but it's also very mentally demanding. It's not just the physical side, such as in another sport like tennis where you play for a long time. It's the fact that also you've got the mental pressure, the egos at play there. You're actually involved in fisticuffs with a lot of people watching. So yeah, there's a lot of mental pressure, there's a lot of physical pressure. So yeah, it is very physically demanding on the whole body and the mind.
So was there any times in your life that you said, I mentally cannot do this, this is too hard?
Well, I only got into boxing when I was 18, and then I started competing when I was 20, so I kind of was never thinking that it was too hard. There's been moments where I've pushed myself every single fight. I go to the next level. By my 3rd fight, I had the state title, 4th fight, Australian title, so it's just been stepping up each fight for me so far.
Now, Jeff, there's something I really want to ask you. Have you ever one-hit KO'd someone?
Well, funny you may ask that, because on my last fight I actually won the fight in 78 seconds against Sam Clumben, and that was a one-shot KO.
Wow.
That was for the Australian professional title.
What kind of work did you guys put into the preparation for that fight?
Well, obviously we train exceptionally hard. Jeff, to win the Australian title, people look at it and say 78 seconds, but obviously a lot of work went into that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, huge amount.
And was boxing your first choice of sport, or did you have other sports that you enjoyed before boxing?
No, I initially started off with soccer, and I played that for about 12 years, and I had no idea that I was ever going to get into boxing.
So why the change?
I just got dragged along one day, and from some wise words from someone said that I was able to become a world champion one day, and I still believe that that's where I'm going to go.
Can we share those words, or is it a secret? Or?
Hi, I'm Sally Simmons. Few sports relies heavily on a competitor's weight as boxing, because we all know what happens if you can't weigh in. Hours and hours just before a fight in the sweat box trying to get off those extra kilos. Not ideal preparation by any stretch of the imagination. Of course, if you're training like a machine to fight, then you need adequate fuel in your tank to keep you going. One of the most common problems that boxers face is not having enough stamina. Now, part of this you can address through training, but you can't out-train a bad diet. Nutrition is vitally important as well. So what kinds of things should a boxer be eating? Aim for about 50% low GI carbs. So things such as brown basmati rice, wholemeal bread, and green leafy vegetables. Carbs give you energy and endurance and stamina to keep you going. Then you're looking for some low-fat protein, things such as chicken breast, eggs, and tuna. Protein helps build and repair muscles, but your body can also use it for an additional source of energy if it needs to. Finally, we all need and love a little bit of fat. Aim for the good fats and aim for about 15% if you're training for boxing. So things such as olive oil, nuts, and seeds. Let's look at some typical meals. So here for breakfast we've got some low GI oats, a handful of blueberries and some walnuts on top. For lunch we've got a spinach and egg salad, complete with a little bit of sweet potato and almonds as well. Finally, for dinner, we've got my 2-minute super special. Fast, healthy filling, a handful of brown basmati rice, a handful of Asian vegetables, and a can of chili tuna. 2 minutes to prepare and keeps you going for hours. So that's it for today. Don't forget to check out our website for more top tips on nutrition and training.
Adam, how and when did you originally get into boxing?
I got into boxing about 2 years ago. One of my mates just brought me down to this gym and just started to fall in love with boxing, went from there.
So with amateur boxing, it's different to professionals in the sense that you're constantly training for a fight, aren't you? So what kind of training are you doing at the moment, and what are you doing on a regular basis?
At the moment I'm training 5 days a week, twice a day. I do that when I have like a big tournament coming up, like state titles I'm aiming for. That's my first qualifier for Com Games, so I have to train extremely hard. And on a regular basis, when I don't have a big fight coming up, I just train 4 or 5 times a week, but not usually twice a day.
So do you have any particular diets you like to go by?
When I'm trying to lose weight, I just cut out all junk food, all the sugary food, and also cut out dairy just because I find that puts on weight.
Yeah.
You've had a pretty exciting amateur career so far. What would be the highlight so far of your career?
Either going overseas and fighting a lot of British champions. That was probably the best experience for me, or winning the Australian youth title. That was a big highlight of my career.
So what's next in the next, 5 years?
Next 5 years I hope to be a accomplished amateur, get a Com Games medal, preferably gold, and go to the Olympics 2016 Rio.
Good job on that, good
Well, I'm here with Ralph Belbin, who's the Vice President of Boxing Tasmania, and Aaron Crossan, who's a boxer, and they're from the Clarence Cobras PCYC. Welcome to Final Round Boxing Show.
Thank you.
So, Aaron, you're here at the World Youth Trials. What sort of preparation have you had to do to get to here?
A lot of training, a lot of cardio work. I have to mentally be here, or I'll be here, and no back chatting with the coach.
No back chatting with the coach. So, Ralph, how's Aaron been going with his training?
Oh, he's been going very well, and it's over a long period to get to a trial such as this one, so he's been probably 4 years in preparation for this.
Yeah.
Although he was away last year at the World Championships in Kazakhstan.
Oh, wow. How was that?
It was alright. It wasn't the best place to be, but as long as I got there.
Yeah. It was fierce competition?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And how long have you been boxing then?
For about four and a half years.
Yes, it'll be 4.5
years. And what got you started in boxing?
It's a funny story about that, but I won't go into detail about it.
But
yeah, as long as I'm in there now.
You're in there, there you go. And what do you love about it most?
Everyone in it, everyone in the sport, especially the coach, that's done so much for me.
Mm-hmm. And how do you find, say, the physical and the mental discipline that's required?
You need it. You need to be dedicated to the sport. Yes.
Yeah. Do you find that challenging, or do you like that side?
At the start, but you get used to it after a while.
Yeah. What about food and exercise and things like that?
I did that for Kazakhstan. I was on ice for a couple of weeks.
Oh, wow.
No food at all, pretty much. Just trying to get into weight.
Yeah.
It was a hard challenge for me.
Yeah. So, what sort of, have you been up to this year, I should say, in terms of tournaments and things like that?
Well, I haven't had that many tournaments this year, just Australian titles and maybe another one, and then I'm here. So I think I've only had, 4 fights this year, I think we're out.
Yes, I think that'd probably be pretty close.
Yeah, and how many wins and losses have you had?
I've had about 25 fights, 17 wins and 7 losses.
Yeah. Oh, cool. And so are you wanting to go professional one day, or?
Maybe in a few more years.
Yeah, in a few more years.
Probably not ready for it yet.
Not ready for it yet. So what needs to happen in order for Aaron to get to that level?
I think Aaron only needs to maintain what he's doing now. And of course what you have to understand is that I'm an amateur coach, I'm involved with an amateur organisation, and I have absolutely nothing to do with professional boxing at all.
Yeah. So to go to the Olympics, say, then what's the
I think that could well and truly be on the cards for Aaron, and it'd only rely on his dedication, on skill improvement. He could easily get there, and he could certainly easily get to the Commonwealth Games, the next one.
Yeah, okay. And so are you looking forward to doing all that?
Yeah.
Putting in the home yards?
It's pretty hard, but I would do it.
Yeah. And so what's the one thing that you'd like to improve upon in your boxing?
I would not have a clue. You have to ask my coach that.
Ralph?
Probably more training sessions per week.
Yeah.
And there'd be nothing else other than that.
Yeah.
Aaron's skills are fine.
Yeah.
His commitment when he's in the gym is fine. All he would have to improve on is the number of attendance a week. That's
Yeah. So how many do you do at the moment?
For the last couple of months, maybe 2 to 3 times a week.
Yeah. And how long are the sessions?
About 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty grueling, really, isn't it? The whole boxing scene.
To the coach as well.
Yeah. You've got. How many people have you got that you're coaching?
Oh, look, one night, Monday, I suppose, is a good example. We have about 14 to 20 in one gym and 8 to 12 in the other. And you've got to keep both gyms going at the same time.
Yeah.
And you've got to cater for the new kids, the beginners. And because we're PCYC, we're looking at kids, giving kids something to do other than hang around the street.
Yeah.
And commit offences that might be not appreciated by the public.
So taking all that energy and putting it into the boxing.
Give them a new
arena.
course in life
Yeah.
a lot of the time. And of course boxing, ESPN did a survey and found that boxing was the most demanding of the top 100 sports. So if you take that and put it beside the fact that it's also about the 37th most dangerous sport right under netball, basketball, equestrian and so on, it's a really good alternative for kids.
It's interesting, isn't it, how it comes so far down the list, but a lot of people have preconceptions about
That's
it.
because they get mixed up between professional and amateur boxing. And of course the professionals are just that.
Yeah.
They get paid big money.
Yeah.
$100 million a fight. It's worth taking a few risks.
Yeah.
These boys get a trophy or a medal.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Ralph. And Aaron, good luck with all your boxing. And
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll see you at the Olympics one day.
One day, yeah.
All right. Thanks.
My pleasure.
Well, I'm here with Ralph Belvin, who's the Vice President of Boxing Tasmania, and Zach Faulkner, who's a boxer, and Ralph is his trainer. So, hello, gentlemen. Welcome.
Thank you.
That's all right. So, Zach, we're here at the World Youth Trials. What's been your involvement with this so far?
I just fought a little bit ago. I was in the 91 kilos plus final.
Yeah.
I got a pro stop contest in the second round.
Yeah. So you happy with that?
Yeah, I'm really happy with that.
Yeah. And what sort of training have you had to do to prepare for this?
A lot of work in the gym, a lot of road work for running, and I've been going to the gym to do a bit of weights, but I stopped that a little while out just to let my muscles rest for this.
Yeah, and is it hard to try and maintain your fitness levels, or do you find it easy? Or?
It gets hard with school and stuff. I have to go out kind of late at night when it's getting dark. But
yeah. So you'd have to be more concerned about losing weight than putting on weight in your division?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
I'm trying to lose as much as I can, get down to about 98 type of range, but I'm pretty heavy at the moment, so I need to do a lot of road work for that.
Yeah, okay. And how long have you been boxing?
I've been boxing about 2.5 to 3 years.
Yeah. Yep. And what made you get started?
I used to swim, and then when I stopped that, I was looking for another sport to do, and I came across boxing, and I just loved it, so I stayed with it.
Yeah. And Ralph, how's Zach been going in his training?
Zach's not the easiest boxer I've ever trained, but he's a very, very brave and courageous boxer. And the weight problem is a problem we talk about a lot. He's 114 kilos. He's got to be 91 plus, but he's 114 at the moment. I'd like to see him probably under 100.
Yeah. So what's challenging about working together?
There's nothing. I can't say that there's anything challenging about him today. He's won the Youth World Championship trial. He's off to Tahiti next week.
Wow.
And then he's off to the World Championships before the end of October. So this week I couldn't possibly complain. And it was a very, very strong boxer that he fought.
Yeah, that's good. And how did you feel afterwards?
I felt it right. I felt really happy with how it went. So I wasn't couldn't feel my tiredness because I was just over the moon.
Yeah.
So
You're pretty excited about going to Tahiti?
I am, yeah.
Yeah. Went on to the championship.
Yeah, I can't wait for the championships.
So a lot of preparation before that?
Yeah, I reckon I'll probably get a lot of fitness up and a lot more road work, lose a bit of weight. So.
And how's about food, the nutrition side of it? Do you find that challenging? Or?
Well, as 91 kilos plus, I don't really have to worry about it, but I tend to keep it down a lot, just a high protein, low carbohydrate and stuff as much as possible.
Yeah. And Ralph, Boxing Boxing Tasmania, how is your role evolving in that?
I'm sort of the vice president now, which means that the president should have the leading role of managing Boxing Tasmania. But we've got a very strong committee now, so it's a lot easier than it has been in the past. We started off about 6 years ago with 2.5 clubs, and now we've got 20. So we've done particularly well. We had two youngsters in the Olympic Games. We won 2 medals in the Youth Commonwealth Games. We had boys away to the Junior World Championships. So this is in the last 2 years. We've done particularly well, and we always do well with the Australian title.
Yeah, so Tasmania's got some good boxers coming through.
It must have, seeing that it's only got the same population as a suburb of Melbourne.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? All right, well, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Nicole.
Hi, Angel Rushton reporting from TBN News. In Queensland Professional at the moment, our very own Damien Super Hooper will fight for the WBC Youth World title on November 16 at the Royal International Convention Centre. We've been invited along to the press conference, so we'll see you there. In Queensland Amateur, the Youth World Championships have just wrapped up for the women, with Beth Nicholson taking out the 57 kilo bronze medal and her Aunt Sky beaten on points to the gold medalist. Shanika Johnson was also beaten on points, but all 3 girls are from Queensland, so it's great news for us. Now on to New South Wales. George Cambosis Jr. will fight Michael Courier for the New South Wales lightweight title, and Dan Jones will face Peter Brennan for the New South Wales cruiserweight title. Both will square off at the Croatian Club on November 22nd. Perth news now. Tassie-born Luke Jackson will make a return for the ring in December 7th. An opponent has yet to be named, but we're hoping for the best. We're not even going to mention Mundine versus Moseley. Late cancellation on that one. Good luck to them all.
Welcome to today's TBN fitness test. Okay, Sam, Nate, you're versing the girls, Molly and Angel. Rules are, there is no rules. Okay, first one back to the line. Now, 5 activities. First activity, run up, 20 push-ups. Run back, and I'll give you the next activity when you get here. Ready, set, go! Come on, guys. That's girls push-ups. What's this? Come on, Is anyone counting?
No.
Next one, go back to line on your way back. 15 burpees. All right. These are girls, actually, I think you guys just cheated. Is that even 20? 2 burpees on this one. Come on, ladies. Okay, next activity after that, to the line. I want you to lunge back, and I want speed punching on the back, 20 punches. This is a good beer. Anyone puff yet? Yeah. Proper lunges. What's this? Speed punches to the bags. 20. Coming back. And on the ground, running back. Last team to win. Come on, guys. This way, and we've got 20 sit-ups. Fast as you can. And then back to the end. Last team to the end wins. Oh, really? Are you ready?